So,
Hello, I think we're live now.
yeah, I think we're live.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So sorry
Yeah,
we're late. We had internet problems.
we sure did.
Um, and
Yep,
it's not even
that's the way
Mercury
it is. Yeah, we're
retrograde.
definitely live now, so that's good.
Yeah. Grand Rising, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Yeah,
Um, we had internet problems, right, Jeff? But it's not Mercury retrograde. So what's going on?
yeah. Well, who knows? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the moon. I don't know. Who knows? Just wacky computers, all it was.
Yeah. Thanks everyone who waited. So sorry about that. 15
Yeah,
minutes is a long time. Yeah, we're usually right on
yeah.
time, but it was
Yeah, it
the
took
internet
15 minutes to
today.
unravel that one, but at
Yeah.
least we're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How are you, Jeff? Aside
I'm
from
all right. You know, pillow pressed head, but I'm okay. I mean, what are you
yeah.
gonna do? I got my
Well,
coffee, so that's good. So yeah. This morning, we kind of have an interesting thing going on. The moon, just separated from a bunch of aspects. And what's good here is the weather has shifted. And you notice the sun just squared Jupiter. Oftentimes you'll find hard aspects with the sun and the outer planets does bring shifts in weather. And I actually studied a lot about weather modifications with astrology, meaning changes. And that was pretty interesting how accurate it is. And we just went from, like triple digit heat out here down to now. I mean, I went for a walk this morning. My God, it was probably not even 70 degrees. So really big shifts. We also had an earthquake this morning. We had an earthquake. It hit Malibu, a 4.6. I was lying in bed and boom, 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 boom. The whole room started
thanks
shaking.
for me. The whole bed started rocking. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's the way it is. And again, New Orleans is getting an earthquake. It's just a big shift here going on with weather, and of course, it seems to be all over the place. So um,
Well, we've been
today we got a moon sextile Saturn. That's not going to happen for about another 16 hours approximately. That'll actually happen late today, be like around almost midnight here on the West Coast, 11:53 p.m. So overall, that puts a productive energy on things. I always like moon positive aspects to Saturn, this is a sextile. So it's actually quite good. The lunar mansion is going to shift at 9:18, which is right about kind of close to where we are right now. In fact, it just shifted right when we got the internet working. So that's interesting. See, this is something most astrologers don't study is that when the lunar man in the West, at least, when the lunar mansions shift, meaning the moon passes out of Mula into the next nakshatra, which is where it is now in Purva Shahadra, that's exactly when we got the computer working. So,
there you have it. There you have it. I mean, it's like see Kathy saying, "Good morning, see Kathy. Better late than never."
yeah, that's it. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
it. Well, I'm wearing I put on my Hessite this morning, and I
All
don't know
right.
what made me do it. I just felt like I need to start wearing the Hessite. I haven't worn it in so long. It's so powerful. When I put it on, I just felt really focused.
Yeah. Well, Hessite rules the moon's north node. Interesting that you bring Hessite up because the north node is ruled by Hessite, or is enhanced by Hessite. And that I love Hessite because it gives protection, actually protects the aura of people. And I've had a lot of psychics and intuitives and healers who say when they put Hessite on, they can really feel it. It shoves and protects the aura.
Oh,
And
I really do feel it. And I haven't worn it in months and months. So I bet it's
uh,
even more, I'm reacting to it even stronger because I haven't worn it in so long. But wow, I just feel like almost like I just turned a light bulb on or something.
yeah. Yeah, we you definitely can feel gems. I'll say that. There's no question about that. We've actually got Mars squaring the nodes here on Sunday. It'll be late Sunday. And I believe that'll be, yeah, it'll actually happen. I might be corrected. It might be Monday morning. But when Mars squares the nodes, That's always a little bit dangerous. And we're seeing a lot of things that were, everything's been the debate, the debate, the debate, the debate. And of course, every pundit out there has been reviewing who won. And of course, everybody seemed to say Harris won. I told you she'd have Mars in the ascendant. She would come out swinging, and she did. She didn't say anything, but she certainly came out swinging, right? So that was good. And I got to tell you, this what we're not hearing about is some of the stuff that's going on overseas, and particularly in Ukraine. Very dangerous stuff. They've been hitting Russia with drones, and it's actually like a provocation. They're just trying to get Russia to widen the war. They're really pushing it. And this has clearly been supplied by the Western powers, NATO and the United States, to be very aggressive in Russia. And this is a very dangerous situation right now. And we've got many people in the government and in military saying we are very close to a major war breaking out. And isn't that interesting? Uranus is stationing and going backwards. It's now already retrograde about 32 minutes a day. It's going to keep increasing in speed, and it's only 42 minutes. And mind you, there's 60 minutes per degree. So it's closing between now and October, right around the middle of October, 13th through the 15th, is when Uranus will be right over that fixed star. Let's hope nothing happens. But it would be insane right now for us to engage in any kind of major conflict with Russia, China, or the Middle East. It would really not be favorable. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Let's pray that doesn't happen. Let's pray that doesn't happen. I mean, something's going to pop, right? The astrology shows that something is going to pop. We just don't know what.
Yeah, well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. Again, I do believe in free will. If we get leaders with common sense that find some way to mitigate this, but again, I always say the owners at the top of the pyramid, they fund these wars, and the leaders always seem to go where the money is being put. And there's a lot of influence here going on. And they stir the pot. They just keep stirring the pot to make sure that they can get trouble going. And this is, again, follow the money. And this is never reported on the mainstream news, but it's, in retrospect, when you look back at what happened, even look at Iran, how did they get the billions of dollars that they've got? Well, it's been backdoor funneled through them. And this is exactly what's happening. So, and a lot of innocent people die on both sides of the fence as a result of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so much is happening, like the earthquakes, the fires. Lucy Lou's asking about what's happening with the fires here. We've got this fire that's just out of
they're huge.
control.
Yeah, they're huge. They're going to get it more in control now. Now that the weather has shifted and they've got cloud cover. In fact, we're even supposed to get rain possibly by Sunday or Monday.
Oh, that'll really help. I hope
that'll really help. Yeah. Yeah. I've been hearing the helicopters go over the house, just shaking the house because they're hauling huge amounts of water. And it's so dangerous for these firefighters because in these high winds and the heat, when it was really hot, they can get killed right away if you get a heavy shift and those flames start coming. I remember going down the 405 and I looked the other way and oh my God, it was just like, it looked like a nuclear bomb went off up there in the Los Angeles forest. It was huge. And this happens every time we get these huge heat waves and the Santa Ana winds. It really heats it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the weekend, what energies do we have to look forward to, Jeff? Because we're on Thursday, we won't be visiting with everyone until Monday. So what have we got happening through the weekend?
Well, the main thing I was saying is that Mars squaring the nodes, that's the main thing. We don't have any major aspects going on. Mars squaring, that's the eclipse points, Rahu and Ketu, always can bring a little more tension. And I would think on the global stage, whether or not they report it, we're going to see increasing antagonism going on in the Middle East and over in Russia. And of course, China has been very aggressive in the South Pacific. So it's a dangerous time. I really hope all the leaders use their heads. Nobody can win a major all-out conflict because if something really nasty gets going here, terms of a major conflict, you know they're going to pull out nukes, and nobody will win that war, not a chance. So, I hope that we just get through this without any insanity like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mars squaring the nodes, that obviously is going to affect us all personally.
Yeah, it depends on where it happens in your chart. I mean, you have to look at where is it happening. I mean, when I look at where is Mars right now, well, if you're a tropicalist, you're going to see that Mars is sitting in, here, I'll pull it up right here. It's sitting in Cancer. It's debilitated right now, squaring the nodes from tropical Libra and Aries. If you're a Vedic astrologer, that is happening between Gemini and Virgo and Pisces, meaning the nodes are in Virgo and Pisces. They're always opposite one another. So this is air and earth energies, which is very incongruent. And in terms of people, it tends to always brings a little irritation. So it depends on where it's happening in your chart. So got to
Right,
watch that one to see what
right.
happens.
That's something a lot of people don't know. Where I'm amazed. We went down to Santa Monica Pier the other day to do what we call taking it to the streets, right? To
Right,
ask
right.
people, talk to people about astrology, and I'm still amazed at how many people don't even know what a birth chart is.
Oh, it's a whole nother world. There's no question about that. I mean, astrology, it's a whole nother world. It's just like anything. You get into chemistry, electronics, whatever it is, it's a whole nother world. You have to really immerse your head into the whole system. But I'm also surprised at how many people I do readings for really have studied astrology. They're really into it. And some of them are tropical astrologers, some of them are sidereal or Vedic astrologers. And it's I'm actually surprised at how much more widespread astrological knowledge has become. And it's, I think, largely due to the internet. This whole explosion of people being able to access, various sites that they can cast their charts on. They can look at transits like Astro-Location, etc. The problem with these sites are you're never going to get a detailed analysis because you can't do progressions and solar arcs and doshas and all that stuff on it. You really need someone who knows astrology to get in there and figure it out for you. But it's powerful. It's an amazing thing. In readings, I always give people like 3 years of transits and progressions that allow them to see what's going on. And I give them the whole life path and the doshas. The doshas are time lords that go through. So it's pretty cool to see all this stuff in your chart. And again, I was very skeptical, being scientifically minded when I was younger, and still am. But I have to say, it is a science, and a lot of people don't treat it as such. They kind of look at it as predicting the future, and it's not that. It's really looking at energy points that release in time. Like I say, I think God created time so everything wouldn't happen at once, and astrology is the science of time, and it really is.
Yeah. Well, we did run into someone who was very familiar with financial astrology, right? He was using astrology to look at financial stuff for people. That was like a shock when he
Oh
said
yeah, yeah, and he knew a lot of the old guys I knew, like Alfie Lavoie and Bill Meridian. He also knew Arch Crawford. These are some of the guys that I used to hang with. They're all Wall Street astrologers, and it's fun stuff. It's
yeah.
fun stuff.
So see, Kathy is asking, is it best to have your chart done every 3 years?
No, I just give a 3 years. I mean, really, you should really look at your chart could be done once a year, a full reading, and then if you do updates. Some people do it every 6 months, some people do it every year. And again, your transits begin to move quite quickly, especially your inner transits when you're looking at a 6 month period. And your outer transits usually go through major cycles every year or two. Saturn moves one sign every 2.5 years, and it can make a lot of aspects while it's doing that. So it depends. It depends on the phases. I always try in major readings to give people major life cycles that are showing up. Like the progressed moon is one of the most powerful things. It takes 28.5 years to go around your chart. The doshas are really very, very indicative of what's happening in your life. So it's really good to look at the major cycles and the solar arcs as well. Many aspects will only happen once in a lifetime. And this is what people refer to as fate and destiny and all that. And I do have to say, everyone will have a different journey that they're going through, completely different. And the imprint of the birth chart actually is progressed. And all of our journeys are going to be different, especially when the positions of Saturn and the moon. They show when sati sate happens, when the real karmic releases throughout life happen. So it'll happen early in some people's life. It'll happen, teenage years, or it'll happen in middle age or late ages, depending on where all the configurations were in the chart. So nobody's the same. Nobody's the same. Every single chart is an enigma. It has to be unraveled, and it's not simple.
Yeah. Well, Rocky Stucci Jr. is joining us again. Hi, Rocky. Thanks for being here. He's asking, I love this, what role do spirit guides play in astrology alongside angels, spirit, etc.?
That's a great question. And I have to say, I think especially the Nadi and the Vedic astrology through the progressions and the Western stuff too, show the forces of these angels. When you really look at ancient astrology, it's all about angels and spirits that are interacting upon the soul. And again, Nadi and Vedic astrology call it karma. We call it fate in the West. But it's every single soul has their own journey. And what's interesting about looking at the astrology and these cycles, they are the angels, they are the guides. And I also think, too, that once you get past astrology up in the upper divinity of those diagrams that I always show, that literally that's where prayer, intention, and desires and goals and all this stuff come into play. We also have things that we can bring in that can alter the outcome of what normal karmas would be. And again, gemstones do this, prayers do this, mantras, intentions, goal setting, all this has an effect on the trajectory that we're all on. But what's interesting is the road you're on is shown by the astrology. It is the road we travel, truly. And that road always has various different, terrain within it, and stops and turns and so on and so forth. And that is time, which is depicted by the major progressions and transits. And I believe all of that is the angelic forces releasing. It sure seems to be there are myriads, and I do mean myriads upon myriads of angels. Every planet has an archangel, a spirit, and an intelligence within it. Quite interesting. Well, they say there's an archangel, an angel, and then there's a hierarchy of spirits and intelligences. And this seems to be like a matrix-like switch that can operate in many different ways, depending on the aspects in the chart, meaning the geometry that is superimposed during transits in the birth chart. And also, you could say its dignity, meaning is it strong, is it weak, is it debilitated, is all these different parameters that are used both in Western Egyptian astrology and also in Vedic astrology. And it is truly an angelic matrix. And we're in the middle as spiritual beings having this experience. We're truly avatars. But I have to run. I'm looking at my clock. We got on late today. And if I don't run, I'm going to be late for an appointment. But at least we made it. And isn't that interesting? The minute the lunar mansion of the moon shifted from Mula, what we call lunar nakshatra, into Purva Shahardra, we got the computer working. Exactly.
Yeah. Val, I see your question. I'm going to ask Jeff about it later, and we'll address it on the next live. Maybe we'll jump on a live tomorrow morning just to make up for this. What do you think?
Yeah, we could possibly do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
why don't
good.
this has been way too short, and I
Okay.
love where you're going, and I want
Yeah,
to
let's do that.
talk.
We'll jump on tomorrow morning.
Thanks, everyone. So sorry this has
You bet. Sorry we had to leave. If I don't go, I'm going to be late.
have a
And I'm
beautiful
always fashionably late. So
we hope to see you
I was
tomorrow.
born late. It was late at night. Okay.